Life is a journey. It's not how fast we run, but it's also important in what direction are we running fast to. Most of us are running fast in the wrong direction, but with mentorship, it will help to align your direction to the place that you ought to be. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to grab your destiny by your own hands.
Welcome to Top 10 Rules for Success. Today we are featuring somebody close to me, my own mentor, my own coach. It's people say this: if you want to go far, get a mentor. Okay, what a mentor does is they give you access to their information, their experiences, their wealth of knowledge, and then they give you a fast track to success, not a shortcut. Hello, they give you a fast track to success. The man I'm about to call forth is by name Ambassador Nefo Esimai. He is the Vision King. We call him the Vision King because this is somebody that he. Oh my God, I'm blown away. So many words inside me. I don't know how to just pick them up and place it here. But let me take it one step at a time. A few years back, my mentor, Ambassador Nefo, was in debt of 3 million naira. And as I speak to you now, he is, I'm not going to mention his network, but what I want you to understand that he has helped well over 3,000 people and counting. 3,000 people earn ₦1 million every single month, backed up with a team that has a vision by 2024 to raise 50,000 multi-millionaires right here in Nigeria. Here's what he does. He helps entrepreneurs that are having individuals from all walks of life that are having issues as regards to how they can be able to create funds to start up, to expand the business, do whatever they desire out of the supplemental income. He gives them access to mentorship systems and show them how exactly they can expand their business, expand an idea, fund the business, or live life on their terms. This is somebody that has been featured in so many platforms, and when he speaks value. This is a man that knows who he is. He will always tell you, the day you discover who you are, everything changes. Everything changes. Who are you? Yes, you listen to me. I'm talking to you. Who are you? So, ladies and gentlemen, permit me bring forth a creator, show you or give forth his top 10 rules for success. Listen to the very end. Don't get distracted. Stay to the very end. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Ambassador Nefo Esimai, top 10 rules for success. I'll see you at the very end.
I have had my own share of experience like everybody has. The downturns, the mistakes we made in the past. It drove me into owing a lot of money in 2011, made some mistakes, and it was terrible. It was terrible. I was more or less packaging myself. My friends didn't even know how bad it was. But my finances were crushed. I was at the lowest ebb of my life. And then I kept on thinking, is this how I'm going to end my life? Is this how I'm going to get married? I mean, my finances could barely take me out. Not even to eat. I was just banking on friends to eat. When they're making their dinner, I just call, hey, where are you? Inside their household. And then, I just go and see if I could, stay with them, go a little bit earlier, stay with them, gist. Then the gist would enter into the dinner, and then I'll eat with them, and I'll go home. It was terrible. But then I was hoping that things would get better. But then I realized that the more I hoped, the worse things became. And I kept on asking, why? Why is this? Why is this like this? And it was a very funny period because it wasn't easy for me because there were a lot of responsibilities I had to take care of, and the money wasn't just coming in. So here's the things. Eventually, I began to research what makes successful people successful, what makes them rich, and I found out that the fundamental reason why people do not achieve much in life, do not live out the true meaning of their creed or their potential, is that they stop growing. I literally stopped growing, and that translated to the kind of ridiculous negative occurrences I was experiencing. I stopped growing. When we stop learning, we stop growing. And anything that stops growing begins to die. So I didn't even know I was dying, but I didn't know it. But it's a principle. Anything that stops growing begins to die. So how do we make sure we continue growing so we stop dying? Death doesn't just have to mean physical death. Death could mean financial death. My finances died completely. Death could also mean, spiritual death. You could be alive, but then you're just dead spiritually, all right? So, but then how do you grow? How you grow is to acquire knowledge. And the fastest way to acquire knowledge is through experience. And experience, if you want to get it fast enough, you read. And that's what I stopped doing when I finished school. I stopped reading. When we were in school, we read to pass. But now in real life, you don't read to pass, you read to acquire knowledge. You read to implement. And what school taught us was how to research and then know what to read and what not to read. But now in real life, we begin to practicalize it, all right? So the fundamental is knowledge acquisition. Right now, as I speak to you, the new currency is knowledge. So the more you know, the more informed you become, and the more your capacity increases. And if you have ever had any mistakes, or if you ever had any problems in the past, in your business, in whatever you're doing, go and check. You lacked knowledge. In the area you failed in the past, in the area I failed in the past, I checked, I traced it. I lacked knowledge in that. So if you're here and you've ever failed in any business, please comment in the comment section. If you've ever failed in any business before, it may be business, investment, all right? Can I see you? If you've ever failed in any business or any investment or any venture, all right? Can I see you? Just comment, all right? In life, everything has principles. And the man that understands principle, the world will be under him. You see, there are financial principles, there are communication principles, relationship principles. So in any venture, in anywhere you want to have success, understand the principles. There are gravitational pull. If you want to jump off a 3-story building, you fall.
You fall.
Why would you fall? Even after fasting and praying for 40 days and 40 nights. Because there's a principle that states if you jump, you fall, right? And there's also a principle that even if you fast and pray for 40 days and 40 nights, if you don't apply financial principles, you are not going to get financially free. Now, that brings me to definitions. Before you can be financially free, first of all, you need to understand liabilities and assets. Liabilities is anything that takes away money from you. Assets is anything that brings money to you. Now, most people understand this, but the application of it is what they don't understand. Now, watch this. When your passive income exceeds your expenses, you're financially free. Let me reverse engineer. If you have more liabilities than assets, you will struggle financially. You can never be financially free. So the question is, how do I create more assets? It's a bit difficult. It's not easy. It's easier said than done, right? But we've cracked the code to help people acquire more assets. But then you see, having assets is not the same thing as having passive systems of income. You could have landed assets, but it doesn't give you cash flow. So now let me explain what passive income means. Passive income is the income you make whether you are there or not. Most people, I dare say 80% to 90% of human beings have active income. The income you make when you have to be there. If you have a job and you get salary, you operate active income. If you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're a professional at what you do, and you offer services or your expertise and you get paid, that is still active income, because if you're not there to offer your expertise, you're not going to get paid. But then if you have a system, the system is what demarcates or makes the difference between active income or passive income. If you create a system, for instance, Dangote has a manufacturing company, Idu Yard in Abuja. Dangote doesn't have to be in Idu Yard for his cement to be manufactured. He has a system in place that people are working for him, and then whether he's there or not, money is coming in. Now, here's what the rich do. The rich create so much passive systems, passive income generating systems, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and then the excess profit that they are making from these 5 different Wilson Oruma. Google it. Why did he go mad? In the city of Port Harcourt, because he invested 2-point-something billion in an oil and gas scheme, and they duped him. This guy went mad. In Port Harcourt, locked him up in a hotel for almost 6 months. That was what saved him. He didn't enter into the market naked. Now here's a similar scenario. You know Coscheris. Who's the owner of Coscheris? Who knows?
Cosmos Maduka.
Cosmos Maduka. Do you know that he was duped almost 4 billion? People don't know this, but it's still standing. Do you know why? Because Cosmos Maduka, the money he put, and it was the same close people who told him there's a big investment, pull out your money. He did. It was literally a scam. He lost it, but nobody knew about this. Do you know why? Because the money he put there was from the system he had built over the years that continues to bring profit. So excess profit, okay, there's an investment, he puts his money. If it goes bad, I mean, he won't die because he already has a system that's bringing in money to him. But Wilson Oruma's case it was all he had from active income. Why did he go mad? Because he can't go back and play again. He's old. There are younger boys who are playing more than him. So to him, he has lost everything in his life. So that is what they teach us in school. Go get active income. No, that won't give you financial freedom. Anything that has to do with online activation, online communication is key. So anything you're doing that doesn't inculcate that, you are lagging behind. But of course, you and I know that there are several businesses that cannot operate online. For instance, barbing your hair. You know, you can't barb your hair online. So those are the other sectors that will remain shaking for a while, since people are not going out to, barb their hair or make their hair. But however, we are all in it, but there are different things that even the common barber could begin to do online to self-sustain until there is a pipe down of the whole pandemic and, of course, the lockdown across board. For instance, delivery. Some people never used to do deliveries. Some restaurants never used to do home deliveries. But now they have to take advantage of the times. It's basically time and season. So this is the season to take advantage of the technology that has been made available. All right. So if you are in the restaurant business, if you're in the cooking business, right? So it is time to have a website. You have to have a platform online where your clients get to see your presence and they know, okay, hey, I can order for these things and I get it. But of course, it comes at a cost. I mean, you won't begin to make so much profit initially, but then when you get your processes right, of course, it is a new dimension. And the few people that take advantage of this and they do it well will come out successful. I'm of the view that, first of all, we have to look into the phrases we use, the words we use, that produces the mentality and the psychological makeup of ourselves. We have what is called empowering words and disempowering words. Disempowering words builds disempowering mindsets, and it disempowers the people who have such mindsets. I have this formula that states that poverty is not a substance. It's not as powerful as we make it. It doesn't exist basically. All right, and I state that with a correlation with this phrase or analogy. If I ask you what is the opposite of light, you probably tell me it's darkness, right? But darkness is not the opposite of light. Darkness is actually the absence of light. In other words, light is substance, darkness is not substance. Darkness is an entity that is a void that needs to be filled. So you get that void where you have absence of light. You cannot go to the market and buy an instrument of darkness that you enter a room filled with light and you project that torch and then darkness is everywhere. It doesn't exist, right? So what you need to have darkness is remove light. Do you know that that's the same analogy with poverty and wealth? Poverty is not a substance, it's void. It's an entity that wealth fills up.
So wherever you have poverty is where there's absence of wealth. All right? I'm going to tie it to the phrase, eradication of poverty. We shouldn't be using such phrases. I mean, we've been using it for decades, and it's creating more poor people. Why? Because we are attempting to imbue substance in what does not have substance. You want to eradicate poverty. So what you're saying is you are making people feel more poor, more less of themselves. Those who feel that they are down there in the lowest ebb of the society, when you say, let us eradicate poverty, as they are hearing such words, they say, yes, please eradicate poverty. You know we don't have money, please give us money. Meanwhile, these men and women are filled with potentials of strength to create. Because we're created by the Almighty God, and if we're created by the Almighty God, who is a creator, he simply makes us creators. So all we need is to begin to bring out possibilities from the statements we make. So let me finish with my analogy. Wealth and poverty, they are not two entities. They are not two substances. Wealth is a substance. Now, when I speak about wealth, I'm not speaking about necessarily the money of the pocket. I'm speaking about the wealth of the mind, which is what creates the money of the pocket or the wealth of the pocket. Now, you see, wealth starts from here. So, can we use phrases like activating the prosperity in you as activating the prosperity in Africa, activating the wealth in Africa? So when you're speaking such positive words, the person you are talking to who doesn't have something to eat now is also accepting that, hey, I actually have something to offer. The other day I was able to convert a problem in my community and I solved that problem. It means I can do more. You see, I don't need to wait for this person. Can I think for a bit? So in doing so, we begin to emancipate the mind from darkness by injecting the wealth light into their minds. That is the only solution to Africa. You can't, from my own point of view, we have different schools of thought. But the school of thought we come from in our academy is become an entrepreneur. The days of having a job is over. We've heard about it over and over and over again. It's happening before our very eyes. We've been saying this since 2016 that people should prepare. I mean, God created us to become entrepreneurs or to be entrepreneurs. Our great-grandparents never worked for anybody. They were in the farm as entrepreneurs, all right, bringing out proceeds, and then they use the trade by barter. Your father is in the farm bringing out yam, mine is tomato or whatever, and then they exchange. They weren't working for anybody. That is how the human being has been designed. But there was a shift along the line when the oligarchs, they came together, the rich, they came together and say, how do we keep people less potentially visionary so that they can work for us? So all these things happened in the past, and then they brought the system of work. There are a lot of things around that. But then this is the revolution that we are on that will favor entrepreneurs. So if you have a job, begin to think of how to break out from that job mentality and start up something for your own. And it's very easy. All right, that's what we teach now. Now, how easy is it? Because why I'm saying this is people that had jobs, as I'm speaking to you now, robots are already taking over people's jobs. Union Bank deployed the first banking robotics in Nigeria in 2018, and more banks will follow suit. In Amazon has robots moving products from one part of their building to another. Human beings used to do that, but robots are not doing them, and those human beings are out of job. It will begin to happen in Africa, Nigeria. Dangote is thinking about such things. All these big companies are thinking of employing these technologies. So the first thing is the mindset. Move away from job security and become an entrepreneur. It is not easy to be an entrepreneur, but now the structure and the architecture of this revolution makes it easy for you to be an entrepreneur. So what are you good at? If you're good at anything, you could create a course online to do that and put up your course online, and a lot of people will come in, especially if you have results, and then people will pay. It could be a token, 1,000, 5,000, to be part of your course, and then money continues to enter your purse. So this is where you begin to think on how to drive. So my take on how to mitigate is as quickly as possible, people need to begin to think entrepreneurial. I'm going to charge you is this. Understand who you are, because we're going to change the narrative. We're going to flip the coin. Whether Nigeria stands or breaks is not my issue. My issue is who we would have become while we step into the new Nigeria, or you step into your Yoruba land or your Biafran land. So I'm going to give you this knowledge and I'm done. Look at this. Who are you? You see, there was this story that was told that an eaglet went on top of the hill, gave birth, just popped out an egg. Because of earthquake, the egg fell to the ground and fell into a barn where it had chickens. And this mother hen hatched the eagle's egg with the chicks. And all of them came out. And there you had an eaglet and chickens, or chicks. But then the mother began to raise every one of them to pick worms, because that's what chickens do, right? They pick worms. Do chickens fly? But every now and then, this eaglet will look up at the sky and then they see something flying majestically like an eagle. Say, I am having a connect. I'm having a feeling that I would like to be like this when I grow up. The mother hen will slap it. Pa! What are you talking about? You're a chicken, my friend. Pick worm. Ladies and gentlemen, there are two sides of this story. This eaglet grew and continued picking worm until he died. One side of the story. Purpose, who are you? Second side of the story was a young boy climbed to the mountain, and then as he was coming down, he saw that this is not a chicken, it is actually an eagle. Picked it up and said, hey, look, you're not supposed to be here. You're supposed to be soaring in the skies. He said, but I don't know how to fly. He said, I'm going to do something. Brings him up the mountain, way up in the mountain, and then he said, do you know today you're going to fly because you're an eagle, even though you've been picking worms your life. Some of us have been in jobs for 20 years, 30 years. We are serving as chickens even though we are eagles. Today I take you up that mountain. But the problem is mentorship. You see, in knowledge, you need wisdom to convert it to power. That's what I didn't say because of time. But you see, if you check the definition of wisdom, it has to do with what? It has to do with knowledge. It has to do with how to apply the knowledge. If you have a mentor, your journey to creating power is shortened, because you need experience to convert your knowledge to wisdom. But then if you don't have that experience, use your mentor's experience. Am I communicating? But we don't have the culture of what mentorship, because in the developed countries you pay for a mentor to mentor you. A mentor is not a guide. You see, you don't say I want you to mentor you free of charge. No, you have to, substance must leave you for him to give you attention. Unfortunately, oh my goodness, I don't have enough time to deliberate on that. But then mentorship is key, to transfer your knowledge to wisdom. And then this, now look at this. What happened is the boy took the eaglet on top of the mountain and said, today you will find purpose. And as he was saying, I don't know how to fly, I don't know how to do it, he pushed it, boom. As the eaglet was in the air, falling and screaming, and the boy screamed, spread your wings. And the eaglet spread the wings and began to soar the skies. From that day it happened till today, that eagle has been flying. Amen. Never to pick worms again. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now your time to fly. So I'm going to charge all of you, because when we begin to fly, then our leaders will know we're ready. We're not ready yet. I hope you know that. So find out who you are. In a nutshell, who are you? If you believe you're created by God, can I see your hands up? Aha. Sir, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? No, not you. Because you raised your hand. Who are you, sir? Ahmed, is that who you are? Who raised the hand? Who raised the hand? Who are you, sir? You're a child of God. In other words, you are what? A creator. If God is a creator, you are what? A creator. Today, let us begin to walk in the dimension of whom we have been called to, and begin to create solutions to problems, solutions to solve our problems, instead of running away from problems. God bless all of you.
I asked asked the question, if you want in the next 2 years, if you want your life to change, can I see your hands up? A couple of people rose their hands. There was a lady that rose their hand, and I asked, so how much would be comfortable for you that if you're making every month in the next 2 years, it will be a praise galore for you? You'll be praising God all the time, that this is the amount I'm making every month in the next 2 years. I asked her, she raised her hand, she said, so how much? She said, 1 million. She didn't hesitate to say that. It's fantastic. So I'm going to prove whether you are really ready for that. So after the whole thing, and then the call to action was made, all right, if you want to take the Mastermind mentorship slot, raise your hand. She didn't raise her hand. I said, why didn't you raise your hand? She said, let her think about it. I said, but you said you want to be making $1 million every month. Do you have anything you're doing currently that will help you make $1 million every month? She said, not really. I said, but I just showed you one. Why didn't you start? And she said one profound thing, that is money you used to make money. It's money you used to make money. So in her mind, she sounded politically correct. She has been hearing this over and over and over again from her broke father, from her broke mother, her broke neighbors, her broke siblings. She hears it every day. It has entered her subconscious mind, and truth be told, she thinks that word or statement is true. Nothing can be further from the truth. You don't need money to make. I used to believe that, actually. I have to be honest, because it was ingrained in my subconscious mind. And I'm sure that some of you, a large number of you, believe that you need money to make money. You don't. Most of the super rich people that you find on earth today didn't have rich fathers. People like Cosmos America, the owner of Coscheris. People like Grant Cardon's father wasn't a rich man. Grant Cardon is a multi-millionaire. I think he has entered the billion-fold now. Jay-Z's father wasn't a rich man. Jay-Z is rich today. I could mention home and abroad. Obi Kubana doesn't have a rich father or rich parents. Today he's super rich. I don't have a rich father. Today I'm super rich. But there's something common, yes. There's something. Obi Kubana is super, super, super rich. Me, I'm super rich, amen? In fact, I'm super, super, super rich, because I have to mention these things. Ali Baba didn't have a rich father, but today he's rich. But if you look well, you see there's something common. In fact, when I said I want to be rich, I had to start thinking that there are certain things that the rich do, you have to also begin to do them, even though it's not convenient, it's not comfortable, it's not the things that you like to do in terms of discipline and sacrifice. See, rich people have a way they think. They think outside the box. All rich people, think about it. See, if you have any rich person close to you, forget about me. I might be, overrated amongst us. But if you have, because you know me, I speak to you all the time. So sometimes probably might think that I speak so that I'll convince you. I don't need to convince you. I'm just sharing my life stories and experiences. But if you have any rich person, rich uncle, rich neighbor that is close to you, bring them close and ask them a couple of questions. It will shock you to know how powerful they use their brains. So the phrase is not that you use money to make money. You need creativity, actually, to make money. Not knowledge, per se. Creativity. Some rich men say you need to be resourceful to make money. It's also the same thing. You need to be resourceful or creative to make money. If you want wealth and abundance, you need a great opportunity that will lead you to wealth and abundance. So step one, great opportunity. Step two, wealth and abundance. Do we agree? If you agree, put it on the comment section. Do we agree? The first step is great opportunity, and the second step is wealth and abundance. If you agree, put it in the comment section quickly. If you don't agree, give us a reason why you don't agree. All right. First step is you need great opportunity. The second, that great opportunity would take you into abundance. So you need an opportunity like AIM Global, La Buena Vida business. You need an opportunity like maybe cryptocurrency, so that you'll be the first that will buy and it will appreciate tomorrow. You need just a big opportunity in real estate so that you can become a multi-billionaire, right? Right? Wrong. You see, that's the problem. That is the problem. Great opportunity is not the first step, unfortunately. You see, let me come from this angle. When I read James Allen as a man thinketh, he said one thing, that people are anxious to improve their circumstances by getting one great opportunity that will make them change their circumstances. But they are unwilling to improve themselves. They therefore remain bound even when they find a great opportunity. Great opportunities don't take you to wealth. So what is number one? Ladies and gentlemen, number one is self-improvement. There are only 3 steps to wealth and abundance. Number one step is not great opportunity. Number one step is self-improvement. That leads you, when you now see great opportunity, what? You grab it. Do you know how many great opportunities have passed a lot of people by and they did not grab it? Do you know why? They lack self-improvement. And it is when you grab the great opportunity and walk it that will lead to wealth and abundance. You see, great opportunity is useless if you don't work it. How can you work a great opportunity if you don't have self-improvement, if you're not ready to catch it? Am I making some sense? So step one is self-improvement. Step two is when you now see the great opportunity, because if you don't have the development, if you're not self-improved, you can't even identify a great opportunity when it comes. Now, if you identify a great opportunity when it comes, you also need a gumption. You also need the resolve to walk that great opportunity. Keyword, walk the great opportunity. So some of us are hoping that we get this business. You see, do you know what people are seeing when they see the big testimonials in this business? They're saying, let me start and join them. I want to drive that car. Why? The misconception that we are managing your expectation now. They have a misconception that once they join, they'll get their car. Wealth and abundance. So they feel that great opportunity is 1, and 2 is wealth and abundance. 2 is car, house. But they forget. So in case you're like that, please understand that you must humble yourself down to self-development, self-improvement, so that you'll be able to work this great opportunity. Otherwise, you'll be frustrated. Don't come to me and ask for one thing that will make you become a billionaire. It doesn't exist. This is where I'm going to end. If you are here and you're thinking of that one magic, that one miracle thing that you will do and you become a billionaire, it doesn't exist. I looked for it for 11 years of my life. I never found it because it doesn't exist. And all the successful people I keep seeing, I keep reading about them, they simply said it doesn't exist. Excuse me, come on now, let's be honest with ourselves. Even Indomie doesn't have one miracle way. You'd have to tear the Indomie, put it in the boiling water, and then it still has the additional spice, right? And it's sometimes not just one, it's 2. So you can't have one thing, all right, that you'd and the more you are looking at one item that solves it all, the more you're getting yourself into problem, because it's deviating from the natural occurrence of things, the principles of life. So if you want the best soup, there are different ingredients, so you have to put them together. So you can't ask me what is the number one ingredient or the only thing I need to do to have the best soup in the world. For those of you who are Nigerians, the best egusi soup. There's no one thing. There are different ingredients, all right? Same thing in business. There's no one thing that you need to do and you become super rich. No, it's a combination of things. So when you begin to understand that life is a compendium of combination of different factors that makes the whole, then you now understand that you begin to think about systems, not how to make money alone, all right? How do you know you're a laborer? You are a laborer When you exert energy and get paid by the energy you exerted, you're a laborer. But when other people exert energy and you get paid, you're no longer a laborer. You are an employer of labor. That is one definition. Or you are a creator. You create what you want. Two things. Either you're an employer of labor or you're a creator. But you're no longer a laborer. When others labor and you make money, you have moved from the place of labor to creation. You can't understand it with your normal senses. You can't. Check the meaning. Some of us have been laboring. Labor can bring wealth to you. What am I saying? Am I saying I shouldn't be a doctor? No. I'm saying there's a higher way to run it. Why don't you own hospitals? You can own 3 hospitals and doctors are laboring. You're a creator. It takes a creator to create. God created us in his what? In the devil's image. Oh, not in the devil's image, in his own image. So if God is a creator, it means I am a creator since he created me. Because God is not a laborer, I cannot be a laborer. You don't understand this. Oh my goodness. No matter who you are, don't come here to justify anything, please. I don't care whether you're a doctor, you're a politician, you're a lawyer, you're an architect. As long as you get paid based on your work and exertion of energy, you're a laborer. It doesn't matter what you're doing. But I sat down once upon a time and I asked myself, is God a laborer? The answer was no. I said, I refuse to labor. I will create the experience I want. So if you want to be a doctor in the heavenly equation, become a creative doctor. Have 2, 3, 4 hospitals where others are laboring and you're making money. That is when you become a creator. Now, the word is there's time to labor, but ultimately don't end there. Let the resources you are making as a laborer be the tool for you to create the experience you want to live in purpose.
I know. Hold on. I know it is mind blowing. I know you never thought about it. I know you want to apply the rules and every single thing. Calm down. Let me shock you. When he was in debt of 3 million, he got access to a mentor, and here's the thing: he thought the person who was quite well to do would help him out as regards to paying the debt. That person did not. Okay, and this is where if you are an average class or if you're poor, what comes to your mind is this is your issue with rich people, wealthy people. They don't help people that are in need. He did help him, but he knew that what he needed was not money. If you're paying attention, pay attention to this. Some of you watching this, the help you need is not financial help. What you need is mental help. You don't need money, you need knowledge. Knowledge is a new currency. That is what you need, because knowledge will transform you as an individual to becoming somebody that attracts wealth. Like money pursues you, you don't pursue money. And that mentor gave him access to 5 books, recommended 5 books. And here's what he told him. They said, within the next 4 years, I'll be back. I'll give you a call, and when I give you that call, I want you to make a transfer of $1 million. Hello, this is somebody that's in debt of 3 million, and somebody is giving him 5 books to read and say, once I'm back, I'm going to request for a transfer of $1 million, and I want you to do it. Whoa, mind blowing, right? But like I said, fast forward, he decided to commit himself to study, to read, to develop the mind, and once the mind was developed, every single thing he became transformed. Every single thing developed. As I speak to you, like I stated, he is part of a powerful team that has a vision of raising 50,000 multi-millionaires right here in Nigeria. So, do you want me to stay his net worth? No. What I'm telling to you is that, or what I'm saying to you is that the 5 books which he decided, committed to study and apply himself to, actually helped him and developed who he is right about now, and he's also still developing him. Now, some of you are asking, what are these 5 books? What are these 5 books, right? If you'd like to know, I'm not stating it here. If you'd like to know the 5 books, here's what you do for me. First of all, you like this video. Secondly, you share this video. Third, you subscribe, and let me know in the comment section. I have completed the assignment. I would like to know these 5 books. I want to read them. Okay, now understand that I'll be keeping track of any single person that is interested in getting access to these 5 books. Like, we're going to get close-up contact, because I would like to share your story within the next 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, and say, hey, this person applied this information and it transformed his or her life. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you got value for your time. If you don't know who Ambassador Buena Nefo is, just go to YouTube, you search, you see him there, you get access to so many information. He is a man to be reckoned with, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. You see the excitement that is just overflowing in me. I have to stop here, because if you permit me, I'll keep talking till infinity. So I'll see you at another episode. I am Emmanuel Zivi, the Synergist, Top 10 Rules for Success. See you some other time.
Hey, look at me, come on. Don't concentrate on this, because it can disappear in an instant, like this. Instead, concentrate on the knowledge that brought the car. Because if you have the knowledge, you can easily get it back, like this. You see, the world has changed, and the way money is made has also changed. You're no longer paid based on how hard you work for money. You are now paid based on the amount of value you can drive globally. Also understand that starting businesses can make you financially free, but not all businesses can make you financially free.